Okay, guys, welcome to another retro review. This is a retro review of the first ever In Your House show. This is a show I legitimately had never seen until I watched it today. And it's a fairly quick show. It's only a little over an hour and 40 minutes because it was a 2-hour show, because most In Your Houses for a while were 2-hour shows. In fact, almost all of them were until 1998 with No Way Out of Texas, I think, maybe. Because that was essentially... Once they dropped the In Your House and just went with something other than put In Your House underneath it is when they went to 3 hours. So, this is a 6-match card. It took place on May 14th, 1995, which was Mother's Day that year. From the Eye Center, or... That's what I heard it as. That's what I thought I heard him say was the Ice Center. From the Ice Center in Saracuse, New York. If anyone watching this video knows the actual location they were at, in terms of the arena, put it in the comment section and I'll change the description. But for right now, it's going to be what I thought I heard. So our first match is Bret the Hitman Hart versus Hakushi in what is actually the best match on this show from a match standpoint. In fact, this match is probably better than it has any right to be. Bret's here in the opening match. He faces Jerry Lawler later. That was the whole storyline of this match. But this is a really, really, really good match. It's 3.5 stars. Bret wins with a roll-up, with a victory roll type of move, and this thing would play out later. Going out of the ring, Bret appears to injure his knee, so good match, 3.5 stars, best match on here. So then we get a handicap match, the first official handicap match in WWE history, I believe. Or at least the first one televised, unless you want to count the SummerSlam 90 match between The Rockers and Power and Glory as a handicap match, but that was a tag match that was a handicap match because Shawn Michaels was essentially injured, and they did the thing when Power and Glory injured him in the match, but I'll get it out of the SummerSlam review series. So this is the first official handicap match in WWE history. It's Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett and the Roadie. Decent handicap match here, 2 stars. A lot of this show's time goes to these first 2 matches. They take up most of the time that this show has. So, good match here. Razor wins with the Razor's Edge on Jeff Jarrett. And then Jeff Jarrett and the Roadie beat him up, and then Aldo Montoya for some reason tries to make a save. That doesn't go well. So then Savio Vega shows up as a fan who Razor Ramon had known from Puerto Rico when he wrestled down there. And this was Savio Vega's debut. The next month, Savio Vega, by the way, would be replacing Razor Ramon in the King of the Ring tournament and would actually make it to the finals. And I'm going to argue should have won the King of the Ring because it actually would have been a very good story. But I'll get to that if I ever review the 1995 King of the Ring, which I might as a retro review one of these days. I might review all the King of the Rings for a retro review. So, yeah. Good match, 2 stars. So then we get the first King of the Ring qualifying match in 1995. Yeah, it was on a pay-per-view instead of a Raw. It's Mabel versus Adam Bomb. What a stinker here. This is no stars. Very quick match. Mabel wins. Simple as that. Mabel, of course, would go on to for some reason, win the King of the Ring in 1995 that I still don't understand. So, no stars here. So then we get the WWE Tag Team Championship match. It was a rematch from WrestleMania 11. And about as good as that match from WrestleMania 11. It's Owen, Hart, and Yokozuna versus the Smoking Guns. A 1-star match that comes with Bart Gunn gets thrown out of the ring, and then Yokozuna drops the leg, and Owen Hart makes the cover, and Owen Hart and Yokozuna retain. There's not really a lot to this match. I never really got, the Smoking Guns are one of those teams that I never got. I never understood the smoking guns. It was at the time when the WWE was experimenting with all these crazy, childy gimmicks. But the smoking guns, they were cowboys who did rodeo. So that went along with being a cowboy, I guess. But it was just weird. So anyway, after that we get Bret Hart versus Jerry Lawler. This is a half-star match. Jerry Lawler has his mom with him, even though it's clearly not his mom. It's probably his girlfriend at the time, because she's about, I'd say 10 or 20 years younger than him, probably. So she plays his mom since it's Mother's Day. Yeah. And Bret pretty much owns this match until Hakushi interferes, and the referee gets hurt going out of the ring to deal Shinja or something. And then Hakushi interferes, nails Bret with 3 headbutts. Although I will say, technically the referee would have seen one of these, because when he got rolled into the ring, he got rolled in a position where he clearly could have seen Hakushi coming off the top rope. That's a nitpicky point, but it's a half-star match because they play up the whole knee injury that Bret Hart had that actually wasn't a knee injury, and Bret suckered Lawler in. That's where the half-star comes from. But Jerry Lawler wins this. Bret and Lawler would have a rematch next month, the first ever Kiss My Foot match. And then they finally stopped getting Jerry Lawler in these high-profile matches. Or at least against Bret Hart, because essentially this feud had been going on for nearly 2 years, dating all the way back to the first King of the Ring in 1993. They just didn't face each other at a constant time then, but they essentially have been feuding on and off since the first King of the Ring in 1993. So then we get the main event, the WWE Championship match, Diesel versus Sid. Diesel versus, don't call him Psycho Sid, or just Sid. 1.5 stars. 1 star for the match, half star for the fact that it actually did set up the 1995 King of the Ring main event. For a match involving Sid and Diesel / Nash, this was what you expected. This is what you expected, obviously. There is psychology of Sid working over Diesel's back since Henry Godwin had attacked him on Superstars. About a couple days before this, or the day before it, or something like that. So there was psychology here with that, and, you know, that's why it's one, like I said, it's 1.5 stars because of the psychology. The match is as good as you can possibly get out of those two. And the half star because it does set up the main event for King of the Ring 95 because Diesel hits the jackknife. They basically could have called this the Master of the Powerbomb match that WCW did in 1999 at Starrcade, and that stupid Powerbomb match that Nash and Sid had, because both of them essentially use a Powerbomb, but Diesel jackknifes Sid, is about to win the match. Tatanka comes in, which gets Sid disqualified. Then Bam Bam Bigelow comes in, and Diesel and Bam Bam fight off Sid and Tatanka. That sets up the main event for the 1995 King of the Ring, which is Bam Bam and Diesel versus Sid and Tatanka. And then Diesel wins by DQ. So this is a 6-match card, has 30 matches. It's 8.5 stars out of a possible 30. So it's not even a C- show. It's in the D rating of the show. But you know, it is the first In Your House, so it's a kind of historic thing since the In Your House was essentially the start of this 12-month pay-per-view thing in terms of 12 pay-per-views a year thing that the WWE did, which I think has hurt that company too, because I think they were much better when they had 4 pay-per-views or 5 and had at least 2 or 3 months to build the event up. Think about it. Back in the 80s, you had Royal Rumble, then you had between 2 or 3, depending when WrestleMania was around, to build a WrestleMania. Okay? Then you had SummerSlam come in 88, and you normally had that a good 3 months after WrestleMania. Or 4 months, depending. And then you had Survivor Series, which, when Survivor Series came up, Royal Rumble and SummerSlam didn't exist, so essentially they could use nearly half a year to build up Survivor Series. WWE was in a much better way that way because they could build more stuff easier then. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's an okay show for what it is. It's an okay show, but like I said, it's not the greatest thing in the world. Point of note, Diesel and Sid had a rematch, the second In Your House, which was in July, which was a lumberjack match, which will probably be the next WWF review I do, because I'm saving Backlash 2006 for the end of this month. That'll be at the end of this month, which I am going to review because I was at it, and I can give you some stuff because I was at it that might enhance the video, some thoughts about it because I was at that event personally. So it's 8.5 stars out of 30. Meh. It was a meh show. But I'm glad I can say I've watched it, because some of these are In Your Houses I have not legitimately seen. So, if you like the video, like button is down there, subscribe button is down there, and thank you for watching.